Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin this event with the auspicious lamp lighting ceremony.
You to the ninth edition of ET Now Polymers Global Conference on Plastics and Automotive, a platform that year after year brings together brightest minds, the innovators, and the change makers shaping the future of mobility. The automotive industry is standing at a remarkable intersection today. Electrification, lightweighting, sustainability, circularity, and rapid localizations are no longer buzzwords. They are the new fundamentals. I'd like to thank all our speakers, panelists, advisors, and the industry partners for supporting this platform and for contributing to India's journey towards a more competitive, sustainable, and innovation driven plastic ecosystem. And of course, a big thank you to all of you here. Your presence and participation are what makes this event meaningful every single year.
Good morning, everyone. And I think many more sleepless nights are going to be there for the people who are here to keep expanding your business and also going to contribute for the industry as such. You know, plastic sits at the heart of the automotive. Designed by 2030, the global passenger vehicle will carry 200 to 350 kgs of plastics, but as a design-led and a low carbon. And that is what the theme of today's discussion also is going to be. India's scale, its frugal engineering muscle. So in the passenger world, I think probably I always feel like, works around on switching from a metal to polymer fuel. Commercial vehicle is nothing but the less weight you carry, the more weight you are offering to them. So we already taken a lot of meaningful steps. As I said, it's around 15-20% of the weight of the fuel tank we could reduce. It's going very well. And many of the aluminum parts have already moved into nylon. That's in another area. And also all pipings, what a so-called metal could actually convert it into a, PV and keep moving across all these areas.
Thanks a lot, Mani sir, for all your valuable insights. I request sir to please be present on the stage to receive his Hall of Fame felicitation. I would like to call upon stage Mr. Amit Shanbag, editor of ET Now Machinist and Polymers, to kindly come up on stage. Moving on to our next Hall of Fame felicitation now, ladies and gentlemen. It is again my privilege to introduce Mr. Shailendra Shukla, Managing Director of Eaton's Vehicle Group and e-mobility business in India. Over 2 decades of leadership experience across global organizations, he has been instrumental in driving Eaton's growth, technology, excellence, and its transition towards intelligent and sustainable mobility solutions. An engineer and MBA by training, he is widely respected for his strategic vision and industry stewardship. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring Mr. Shailendra Shukla with the Hall of Fame Award for his outstanding contribution to the mobility and automotive ecosystem.
One, we heard about Viksit Bharat in the previous conversation. The other input I want to bring is India for Global. And that is one area I think we need to be working a lot. Automotive industry has done a significant job there. At least the component world is exporting 25% of the produce in India over there. I personally believe that is one big opportunity for all of us in the room to bring our quality products to the globe. So we look forward for another discussion over here. Thank you so much.
Now moving on to our third Hall of Fame award. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to introduce Mr. Arvind Goel, Vice Chairman of Tata Autocom Systems.
I would only request people that the India growth journey is there for the next few decades, and request all of you to please invest ahead of the curve and please look at delighting your customers with your quality. Thank you.
Very special award, that is the Lifetime Achievement Award. Mr. Deepak Thakral, Executive Officer and Head of Supply Chain at Maruti Suzuki India.
Pleasure to meet industry leaders and colleagues here, and also friends whom I know from the industry. And For me, this is the first time. Of course, this is the ninth session which you're doing, but it's for me, it is the first time to be here, and it makes a lot of relevance now. Uh, why I say this is because generally as OEMs, we have more interaction with the say tier one suppliers. In our case, it will be the people who do the injection molding, or we'll have some interaction with the tool makers, the injection molds maker, or tool makers, which we really do it.
Let's give them a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fantastic picture is going to come out of this. Moving on to one of the most crucial conversations of the day, a discussion that sits right at the heart of India's journey towards sustainable manufacturing.
Good morning, everyone. Uh, this is great. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This is a fantastic event. I was told in the morning that they had planned for around 200 delegates. This is really exciting time for the Indian automotive industry.
My project, I was always worried about the materials and the technologies which are going to come out of these materials. And that is when I had taken up a project of plating, electroless plating on plastics.
To talk about the curb weight reduction. And I think that time we were working in our designs to actually start cutting down the weight, bringing the composites in, which got productionized. So the policy changes had a big changes in our portfolio of products, especially when we look at our interior trim business.
So my situation is exactly different from what we heard on the education. People learn metal first, and then they learn plastic. Technically, I am a chemical engineer. I started learning polymers first before I learned metal. The reason why I bring this point is now the industry is becoming multidisciplinary. Probably the year Mr. Goswami had his startup idea, I was born in that year.
Definitely, any industry that is evolving is looking at sustainability, and they are looking at materials. Plastic is no different. Yeah. So plastic is having dual responsibility. One is as an industry itself, and secondly as a solution provider. So we have a dual responsibility, which makes us a bit challenging also.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next segment is a partner presentation segment. But before that, a quick reminder about the Udo Lucky Draw contests. As I mentioned before, we have 3 gold coins and 3 silver coins waiting to be won. All you've got to do is participate and drop your visiting cards in the bowl outside. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Vishal Agarwal, President of Udo Hot Runner India.
I'm glad to be associated with ET Polymers for continuous 9 years, and I think this is my 7th or 8th presentation with them. For a technical company, to make a presentation year on year is a very, very difficult task to show some new technology, new case studies, new issues, resolutions, what you have done. Fortunately, we are successful up till now. I'm trying my best this year. Let's see. So,
please join me in welcoming Mr. Divakar Gokhale, Head of Mobility Business, Covestro India, for the second presentation.
Especially, I'm glad to stand here and see because the participation of women workforce in the automotive industry in the conference is increasing. And this is the best way or the best year to see that because this is the same year when our girls won us the Cricket World Cup. So I think this is the best time to give a loud applause to all the girls here who are making this happen.
Second panel of the day, and this one takes us right into the heart of India's EV journey.
So we have seen in last decade a lot of EV conversions. Every OEM have one platform to launch in EV, let it be in two-wheeler or commercial or passenger vehicle, and even now tractors.
Was showing a slide where the PEEK material was mentioned there. So with the traditional materials getting customized for the interior space, which is calling for a thin wall molding, which is calling for a better texture, better appearance. So yes, I see that this drive is already there, and a lot of things when I go and do a benchmarking activities in China, and we see that they are a little bit ahead, not little bit, they're far ahead of us when it comes to soft touch materials and all.
Then we can talk about the recyclability. That is, material should be able to sustain in the different life cycle stages, or that we should have to able to use that material in many times. So material should be capable to have material should have the fire retardant as well as thermal stability. Thank you. That I can say that.
Polymers are redesigning the ideology of design. My first 1 decade has been with metal, and then last 2 decades has been with polymers. And somehow God was kind to me to shift my professional relationship from metals to polymers. And polymers, when I talked 10 years ago with OEMs, with suppliers in the forums like this, luckily or unluckily, I was in organizations which were much ahead of time.
Before I give the right answer, I would like to go back to Mr. Gokhale, as he mentioned, that we have to work together right from concept. Not that my design is ready and I have to tell my supplier or my toolmaker, this is my design and you have to bring the part. I fully agree with your approach because I faced this challenge in past. I was ready with this and we were talking with many of my suppliers are also sitting here. So I think this is the best way and right time for us to think in a different way. Not that the design is ready and then we have to start. So we have to start from beginning, from back to beginning now.
Regulations, it is nothing is going to be free. Sustainability is not going to come free and has no subsidies. But the government of India, since I work for the Niti Aayog also, has learned, unlearned, and relearned. It is not going to be easy, of course, to push the regulations, but it takes time. And we were talking of make in India and making India great again. It is time that born in India is seen, and what we as the automobile industry, born in India, shows the world its rightful place. And it is where all of us have to come together and work for a better future where plastics and us coexist.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Ramesh Varadan, Managing Director, Yazumi Advanced Processing Technology Private Limited.
Sure, some of the new technologies I have been showing here will keep you on the edge of your seats. And as I told you previously, our 40 to 50% of our business came from automotive industry globally. And in India also 60% of our business come from automobile industry. So we have a very strong innovation, strong process, and one development center for various automotive process for developing automotive part. We have been presently working 20 different technologies. Everything is unique. But because of the time, I'm just highlighting only few technologies, which is now presently we are working with every EV manufacturer in China.
For this panel, leading this conversation is someone who understands materials, mobility, and sustainability from a global lens.
If I look at it from an OEM perspective, from Tata Motors as such, we are looking at it from 3 to 4 different perspectives why circular plastics is important to us. One, definitely the regulatory pressures. I think the pressures are increasing day by day, the EPR norms, as well as many other regulations that are coming in. But in addition to that, I mean, many of you would be aware, even Tata Group is committed to a Project Telangana, which is the Project Telangana for sustainability. So the entire group is committed towards the project, and we are public in terms of committing that yes, we want to increase the use of recycled materials, and circular economy is one of the strong pillars of the Project Telangana that we are all committed to. And I think the third and the most important point that I would say is beyond everything, the resource efficiency is something that is very critical, and it is here and now. And I think that is probably the biggest driver in that sense as to how do we really make sure that our resources are more efficiently used.
For me, it's mainly when you see the mountains of plastic growing than our actual mountains and the islands of waste. Basically, I wouldn't say plastic, but it's waste. When that started growing, I think more and more focus on circularity, recycling started growing, and that is the reason it's important, because that material is there. It is a resource. But until and unless you see it as a resource, it's going to get dumped. So that's where I feel the circularity comes into the picture, and the field that I work for also tries to bring in a social angle to it, women empowerment, also a handicraft angle to it. So I think it gives a very different perspective into this resource. As in, I would not say it waste anymore. It's more of a resource that we are talking about here.
We cannot have infinite growth forever when the planet has finite resources. So if you see the consumption pattern of the global population every year consumes 1.7x times the resources that Earth generates every year, which means every year by the time we reach August, we have already used whatever the Earth could have generated, and next 5 months are basically a debt we pay to the nature. Now, our general engineering and lifestyle concept is take, make, waste, right? And if you look at nature at large, which is billions and billions of years old, it is an aberration. Nothing in nature is a waste, right? An output of one process is an input to other process.
I work with the chemical recycling. And what we have seen, when we started working, when plastic was not the, like a in thing, been doing this for 16 years. And I've seen the shift in people's mentality. We are talking about it because we are feeling the pain of the earth, I think, and we are seeing how much pressure it is putting, how much, the environment is changing, how it's affecting our lives. And I think for that, all of us needs to get together and, really need to start talking about circularity.
So every morning we get up, we cut open a milk pouch, we throw it in the bin, someone collects it, someone throws it out. We really don't know what happens with milk pouch, right? What if there is a way that this milk pouch eventually becomes a shampoo bottle, eventually someone uses it? This, we technically see it in Bangalore now, where there are organizations which collect these plastics, make pellets out of it, and these pellets gets converted to shampoo bottles and then sold in the European market. No, that unit is a completely export-oriented unit. Now, when you collect waste from the society, right, it is soiled, it has oil, it has grease, it has all the contaminations possible, right? So if we have to clean that plastic, because this is invariably going to happen with any plastic which is there in our society. We go out of this building, we see plastics on the road. Eventually, if we don't get that cleaned sufficiently well, we don't get good quality plastics out of it. Now,
please join me in welcoming Mr. Ranjit Jadhav, COO, and Mr. Prashant Pandya, AVP, Engineering Plastics Business from Plastic Blends India Limited, to the stage with a thunderous round of applause, everybody.
So over the last 3 decades, we have built a strong legacy of innovation, trust, and global impact. Today, we proudly serve customers across 60 plus countries through our 150 plus channel partners around the world. Our 4 advanced manufacturing units and 130,000 metric tons per annum production capacity ensures that we are equipped to support large and diverse applications. All of this is reinforced by our strong global distribution network, enabling us to deliver the right solution at the right time, no matter where our customers are. This is our journey of growth. This is the impact we continue to build every single day.
PS6 unfilled black, this is for air duct application. So these are the clips. These are also in various colors. We are making this in PS6, 30% glass filled, blue and red. Some of this application is even exported also. So these are the door trims, A, B, C, and D type of door trim. We have our grade NGTech F22900001, which is PP 12% tall filled, which is very well going in the market.
Finally arrived at our last panel discussion of the day, and we're closing with a topic that really ties the entire plastics ecosystem together.
So plastic value chain right now, it is reshaping under stricter and stricter norms. Okay, so one side the government is pushing for the environmental causes. At the same time, automotive industry is also pushing for the lightweighter, then recyclability, even for localization also. And basically, this is a good, this problem is basically good to have a problem wherein we can find that with this pressure and this accelerated, what we can say, initiatives from the OEMs and from the governments, basically innovate, it pushes basically innovation.
What do you think are the different skills and talents required from design to materials to tooling, advanced manufacturing? We've already heard from OEM expectations earlier, Ashok Leyland, Maruti Suzuki.
See, basically, I consider myself a very, very fortunate person because after graduating from college, initially for a few years I worked on shop floor and also on drafting board. So that has laid the foundation for my future growth and success. See, what happens is, today people are directly learning on CAD CAM. I mean, 3D, they're directly working on 3D, but there are certain basic advantages of working in 2D. Because when you start working in 3D, you have to visualize a lot. So it's a personal development process that takes place inside within you, and that helps you to visualize a thing. Like I'll give you an example. When you go to Elephanta caves or something, some other any caves, it's when you now you see when you go and see the final product, you see that, but it depends upon the visualization capability of that person who has actually visualized that. He must have seen only a rock, but then he would have seen. So these kind of abilities get developed.
And once we know what is the pain or what is the pleasure or what is the innovation or what is the creativity in the shop, definitely that person can do wonders in engineering. He can understand what is required on the machine. When I'm manufacturing myself, he can maintain it better. Definitely he can be a better sales guy also once he knows how the item is made. So when he talks to the customer, he has a full confidence what I'm selling, what it is. But otherwise, if it is just theoretical knowledge, I don't think that salesperson can be in a able to position to convince customer what it is.
Is that one of the Harley Davidson project of converting oil pans from aluminum to plastics was a project, and that they had already made the mold in USA, but they could not achieve the warpage of 0.4 mm, which was the requirement. And then they came to us. Unfortunately, our second line, they had rejected this proposal. They said, we can't do this because mold flow is simulating 1.5 mm. When it came to our table, then we said, no, we will do it. And like I mentioned about the mission possible. So that was one of the examples that in the world which America could not do, we as an Indian company could do that.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Times Group B2B editorial team, it is my absolute privilege to deliver the vote of thanks as we conclude this insightful and inspiring day. First, my heartfelt gratitude to all the speakers, panelists, moderators, and presenters. Your knowledge, your clarity, your passion, and your willingness to share real industry perspectives have truly enriched today's conversations. Thank you for giving us your time and your expertise.
On behalf of the entire organizing team, thank you once again for your time, your attention, and your enthusiasm throughout the day. We hope the discussions, insights, and connections made here will continue to spark ideas long after we leave this room. So wishing you all a great evening ahead. Travel safe, take care, and we look forward to welcoming you again at the next ET Now B2B event. Thank you and goodbye.
Content. There is always so much of information which passes through the stage, through speakers, presentations. The best part about this event is the knowledge sharing, the kind of speakers you get on board, the kind of experiences they share is amazing. You get to know all the latest technologies which is available in the market for raw material molding side, user perspective, for us from hot runner side. So this is an amazing platform, and I would thank you guys rather for having us for the last 9 years, and it's truly been an amazing journey together with you.
Thank you, and congratulations to the entire team. in the 9th year, and glad to be a part of this. I've really seen this evolving over a period of years. More and more participants are joining. I remember earlier we were used to be worried, including organizers, that we will be able to get the right kind of audience. And now, last 2 years or 3 years, this has been almost sold out. That people are complaining that they don't get chance to come. So it itself speaks about the popularity and how successful the show has been. Of course, it's a joint effort also of the industry, but together with your efforts, we have come so far. I think this will continue because of varied topics that we cover under this, which are relevant to the industry. And another thing I would like to say is the growing attendance of the woman power coming into this is visible. Earlier, not even one we would see in the audience, but now the participation is going up. So I think that is another positive side of it. All the best for the future events, and we hope that we will be associated for that.
We are on the 9th edition of the GCPA event, and you have been associated with us from this year onwards. How has your reaction been? Like, how has your experience been? You met a lot of people since morning. So if you can just tell us your experience about it.
Yeah, ninth edition, first time as a partner and second time for me as an attendee. It's been an interesting thing. From day one, we could meet a lot of OEMs, a lot of interesting conversations. Hopefully, we will be able to convert them into prospective business. So that will be interesting for us. And yeah, if you take it to other parts of country, especially Gujarat, you have where auto industry is there, Chennai is there. I think it will be a big success. And I wish you all the best in doing that.
Basically, see, this is my first time. I heard before that from the market that ET is organizing, the particular automotive event with people from the top management. So I was looking for the opportunity. Luckily, this time I got an invitation from you, and but I was a little bit, skeptical about this event how it looked at. But now after I came here, I met the people, those who are, from the industry, all the decision maker like Maruti and everything. I'm very much convinced. I'm very much the amount what I spent as a sponsor with you. I'm very much convinced. Definitely, I would look to continue with participation because you limited the what I found from the other seminar. You limited very selective people who the decision maker and the top management. It gives us very focused on this time. So that way, this is very good event, I believe. And if you extend to other metros also, maybe we will be cooperating with you.